what we've got, chaps.
Engine boost activated.
Hello and welcome! Today we are in the tier 10 Swedish destroyer, the Halland. And I think Halland is a stupid ship. I still cannot believe that this ship made it into the game. As she is, essentially. These torpedoes are insane. And I like it a lot. It's incredible to play. In fact, did you guys know? Halland is actually one of the most popular tier 10 ships on the EU server. One of the most popular, and it's a fairly recent ship. But I can understand it. If you really like playing a torpedo destroyer, what you really like doing is hitting torpedoes. It doesn't matter whether they do 20k damage or 10k damage. And with Halland, you can hit a lot of torpedoes. I mean, we just hit 4 torpedoes, it's 3 minutes basically into the game. They have great range, they're really fast at 90 knots, and they have fairly good concealment, which all of these combined make Halland a great torpedo boat. Of course, it also helps the fact that Halland is a destroyer that actually has anti-air. With CVs around and hunting lots and lots of DDs, Halland is a great choice because, well, the anti-air not only protects you from CVs, it quite often simply just shoots quite many of them down. You also have a heal, you don't have a smoke screen though, which is quite unfortunate, but your concealment level is okay and your firepower is also pretty decent, so maybe it's not quite as necessary. As a result, Halland is a lot of fun to play, and to me it just feels like an incredibly strong ship. Which is why I think it's quite stupid, because it just seems so powerful that other destroyers simply seem kinda power crap. Well, not all of them, of course. I mean, Haruguma will obviously have a place. Des Moines as a destroyer is amazing news at any time, but talking about the Shimakaze as a torpedo boat, I don't really know why you would pick Shima over the ship. Sure, Shima has more torps and they deal more damage, but they're also much slower, much harder to hit. The gunfighting power of a Shimakaze isn't quite the same as a Halland. And, well, she isn't protected from the air, whereas Halland is. Also, I finally got access to the special captain of the Pan-European line, which is quite interesting, because every 8 torpedo hits you get, your torpedo reload gets faster by 5%. And this can end up getting you really swift torpedo reload. I've had it at like 1 minute. Well, actually, maybe even lower than 1 minute. Also, I'm in trouble here. There's an Albemarle there. Come on, we need engine boost to get away. 100 meters to go. Let's go. Then we're gonna drop torps on this guy. And we're safe. Good. Hopefully, don't set a fire. Excellent. Okay, we took a lot of damage. And this is very unfortunate, but hopefully we'll be okay here. Albemarle is turning in. Sadly, our battleships are kind of far, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to punish her. The torpedoes look good, but, well, the cruiser is kind of deceptive. She turns really quickly, so she might simply avoid most of them. Ooh, we did hit a few. Well, 1, 2, 3. I mean, great, they didn't deal much damage. If I was a Shimakaze and I hit 3 torpedoes on that guy would be dead. I think 2 would have already been enough. However, you know, they still dealt a whole bunch of damage and, well, she couldn't avoid them, despite knowing that that could have easily happened. Anyway, right now I'm gonna follow my other Halland here, because I don't have that much HP, and if we run into a destroyer, say the enemy Haruguma or a Shimakaze, I would really like some backup. So I'm not gonna try to get closer to the enemy for a bit now. I'm gonna wait until I get some HP. I'll just torpedo them from range because, hey, Halland's torps have 15-kilometer range. I mean, that's actually, you know, that's the kind of range you might even want to use torpedo acceleration on, but obviously it doesn't make much sense on the Halland because it's a flat 5 knots, you know, 90 knots to 95 knots isn't that big of a difference, but losing 3-kilometer range could be. Okay, well, I mean, we control the sea cap. if they just keep firing at the Albemarle, eventually they're gonna sink her, right? Well, I guess the problem is that they would actually have to fire at her, but hey, at least she's spotted, so it should happen eventually. Any day now. Oh, I think those shells are headed for the Albemarle. Goodbye, Albemarle. Or not. If nobody actually deals with that heavy cruiser, I don't think I can get too close to those battleships that sweet, sweet Iowa would like to torpedo. Or maybe even that Bismarck. Anyway, one thing that you do notice with Halland's really fast torpedoes is that you have to gray line those torps quite often because they're so fast. If you try to start predicting fancy things and they just don't do anything, you miss absolutely everything. Because the torpedoes are fast, that also means they don't spread out as much as you would get on other destroyers. But still, never use, okay, maybe not never, but don't use widespread. Widespread just does not make sense. Narrow spread is just better in almost all the cases. Also, we've actually lost our CV to the Haruguma, apparently, somehow. Or maybe, I guess Haruguma and Shimakaze together. Regardless, we do not have an aircraft carrier. We've lost 4 ships, they've lost 3, so we're not... okay, I guess we're fine now. Although, surface fighting, it looks kinda like a ranked battle. 5 battleships, 3 destroyers. We've lost all of our cruisers, but then again, all you really need are destroyers and battleships. I actually think we're ahead. Depends on how well the enemy CV plays, but the problem is we still have 3 of our destroyers, and the enemy CV is not good at fighting destroyers. Which means that I think the enemy is in a lot of trouble, because we'll take all of the caps and they can't really approach due to our torpedoes. And I really don't know what they could possibly do about this, because we'll just keep everything spotted. I mean, it even gets worse when you consider the fact that 2 of the destroyers are Hallands, right? And their only single destroyer left is a Haruguma. It's not exactly a destroyer that can fulfill a destroyer role versus Hallands. Wow, the Richthofen actually detonated our Massachusetts, but I just sank their Iowa, so I think it's okay. Also, the torpedo reload expert thing, you know the 8 torpedo hits? That actually stacks. So it gets better and better and better the more torps you hit. So you could eventually have a very, very, very fast torpedo reload. Anyway, I decided to try to decap the Albemarle. And I already did that, and then my battleship took a salvo, which means that the Albemarle is probably gonna leave the cap. So she's either gonna go right or left here. I don't think she's gonna just sail away. Either she's gonna try to loop back into C when I unspot her, because I'm gonna head over to B, because that's where the battleships are. Iowa's already gone now. Or she's just gonna try to meet up with his battleships. I think she's gonna go to, loop back around to C, so I launched the second set towards the seaside if she decides to turn. And then I'm gonna simply head over to my Halland, because our Halland is kinda low, and we do eventually have to take care of their Haruguma. And I think it would be better if we're together, that way we can combine our firepower. They do still have a Slava, which is somewhat unfortunate. That is a ship that can swing the game a little bit. Because if she gets a few nice salvos on our battleships, that might sink them, and they are in a position to be able to contest all of our cap zones right now. Like, if our fighting force ends up weakened, they are able to enter the cap zones and at least hold it for a little bit. Although their power seems to be waning quite quickly. Yep, Albemarle went. Well, Albemarle did go back. She did try to go towards the sea cap, but well, she ran into my torpedoes. Thank you for the devastating strike. I guess now the game's kinda over, because they are not in a position to contest all 3 cap zones anymore. Right? Because they have nothing that could even try to contest C. Which means that they would have to get into A and B, and they don't have anything even close to A. They don't really... Oh, that's the Haruguma. Hello, Harugumo. Wow, she has 16k HP, I only have 11k. I do have a heal available though, so that should kind of even the odds a little bit. Come on. I think I can win this because she didn't have her guns pointed towards me and had to bring her ship about. Yeah, I'm still at 11k, she's at 7k already. Although Harugumo's DPM is crazy dangerous. And she probably also launched torps because she didn't fire for a while. I think that was a mistake. Hey, let's try to avoid the torps while also sinking. That was close. Oh, and I hit torps on the Iowa too. Kinda surprised none of the battleships actually took hits on me. But I survived with 800 HP. By the way, again, I would like to reiterate for those who didn't notice, I used the heal during the fight. Because I knew I was gonna take damage, and the heal would keep me alive. And I've noticed that some people don't quite do that. You really should. Heals are excellent at trying to keep you alive, especially on destroyers. And, well, the game ends in 20 seconds. I really don't see any way for them to... Even if every salvo they fire gets a detonation on our team, I don't see how they could possibly come back at this point since there's like 5 seconds left in the game. Sadly, my torpedoes won't hit anymore either. I won't get the third reload boost. But yeah, Halland is great fun. It's basically everything I want in a destroyer. Like, if I want to go and have some fun with launching torps and all that, Halland is perfect. Like, pretty much perfect. Great guns, great, like, you can hit so many torps for so much fun, and it's protected from CVs. And the torpedoes have lots of range. It's incredible. I really like this destroyer. Wow, well, Hallands are number 1 and number 2. Yeah, as expected. Now, I don't know if she's overpowered. I don't really know how to argue that point. But she feels so strong in my hands, it's incredible to play. So if you haven't played the Pan-European destroyers, I do recommend trying them at least. Especially if you can get access to the higher tier ones. I find them lots of fun. Especially the Halland. Yes, the Jutland is also pretty damn good. So let's take a look at the damage we did. 163k from the torp hits. Unsurprisingly, I didn't get many floodings. I should probably try to work on that, to stagger my launches, but I don't know, I'm not used to trying to do that. But yeah, that was great. I didn't hit higher tier battleships though, but that's okay. So, let's go over my captain skills and upgrades. As I mentioned, I have the special Pan-European captain. Anyway, I go for priority target, last stand, survivability expert, concealment expert, then adrenaline rush, because she gets the special adrenaline rush, and superintendent, because you have a heal. And then last, you still have 4 points. What do you do with it? I figured I would go for torpedo armament expertise, because I really like throwing out torps. But stuff like RPF is great. You could go for the guns with BFT, for example, if you so desired. There's lots of cool things to do, and then preventative maintenance. But this torpedo reload expert is the skill that makes your torps reload even faster when you hit them. Torpedo acceleration would be a skill you could take, but I don't recommend it. It takes 2 points and doesn't really give you much of an advantage. Your torpedoes are already 90 knots. 95 knots isn't gonna make a big difference. Upgrades wise, obviously torpedo reload, you could also go guns there. Then concealment systems modification 1, which puts you at 6 km concealment. Then propulsion. I don't really know whether you should go propulsion or steering gears. I've been kind of playing around with both nowadays, because I found propulsion to be quite nice. I hadn't really used it in the past, but this time it has felt great. Also, somebody followed. I'm pretty sure I didn't play this game on stream. Can't believe that. Then engine boost if you don't have it. Then engine room protection. Obviously you could go for the defensive fire upgrade, because that reduces your reload, which means you can use them more often, but I don't know, that's kind of up to you. And then main armaments modification 1. Also, you can reorder your consumables, which is how I put the heal on the T button, and I really like doing that. I'm sorry, Straps, but I will swap my camos right. What the hell is this camo? No, we need that. This looks better. I'm sorry, Streps, but your camo doesn't look very good in a thumbnail, okay? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.